National Informatics Center, New Delhi. After that, he started working with companies like Infosys for more than 2 decades. It's a very long time, sir. And he worked as a practice manager. He's passionate about life coaching. He's passionate about mentoring individuals for personal effectiveness and growth. We all learn from Mr. Rama sir that the kind of dedication, the kind of knowledge he has, the kind of transformation he shares with us, it's phenomenal. I request all of you to to have a loud hand of applaud and introduce Ramamurthy sir.
Thank you, Pramod. Good evening, everyone. So today, let's get started with our mentoring session, personal growth, relations, love, family, everything. So let's focus on personal growth, which of course helps in taking care of everything about ourselves and our family and our society as a whole. So what's personal growth? Yeah, as usual, let's get interactive.
Personal growth is nothing but the one step, even if it's the slightest step from yesterday to today, whatever gradual changes you've made, all that contributes to a personal growth for the betterment.
Right. Betterment of ourselves or the people around us. Yes. Yeah. Anybody else would like to say what is personal growth as per your understanding?
Yeah, just to add on what Dipti mentioned, it is not like your continuous improvement, it's more like a this continual. Even a small 1% you are able to change, it is a growth in yourself. So yeah.
Yes. It can be however small it is. Yes. Yes, Abhilash.
Yeah, Pramod sir, you are right. First of all, we know ourselves. Personal growth is related to, first of all, we know ourselves, and then we can able to change others. That's the person. That's we need one thing in our personal growth. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. So whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, the growth happens, right? So then why we are talking about personal growth, why we want to do something about it? Right? Whether it is physical growth or internal growth, mind growth, whatever the growth, emotional growth, it happens. In any case, it happens. So why are we talking about it? So naturally it is happening, right? So when you are born and now you are physically have grown, right? Similarly, with your experience, with your knowledge, you're grown. So why do you focus and talk about personal growth?
May I?
Yes, please.
Yeah, personal growth is not a physical growth. Personal growth is, I think, it's a mental growth. We learn a lot and we experience a lot and reflect with the what we really experience. That's, I think, that is a personal growth, not a physical growth.
So what is a person? So personal growth, we are talking about growth of a person, right? So we refer to ourselves as the self growth or personal growth. So what's a person? Who are you?
Personal. Yeah, it can happen from internal factors as well as external factors as well. So
Yes. So it is not only mental, it is also physical, Abhilash. A person is the complete package. The physical,
yeah,
the
yeah.
mental,
Yeah,
emotional,
sure.
and everything. So we are talking about the holistic personal growth. Okay, to my previous question that anyway it grow, no, we as a person, anyway we grow. Why are we talking about personal growth?
If we want to improve ourselves, our personal growth is important. Otherwise, life will be stagnant, the growth will be stagnant. It's important to grow yourself.
Yes, the growth anyway happens, right?
Yeah.
The growth anyway happens.
No, see, it happens, but you know, you need to know what are you heading, what are your steps, what is the direction. This is why, you know, in UMM we have the steps, right? Purpose, goal settings, clarity, consistency. It's because we should be clear about our personal growth, our goals, action plan.
Yeah, so the growth anyway happens, but the thing is, we want to be conscious about how we want the growth to happen, whether it is physical growth or mental growth or emotional growth. We want it to be in a appropriate way, right? Otherwise, physically we may grow horizontally, so we also want to grow properly, right? So, so we need that focus, that attention and focus is required for our personal growth, whether it is physical, mental, or emotional, or spiritual, or whatever it is. So the point is, we have to have the conscious and focused approach for our personal, holistic personal growth. So that's why we keep talking about it, right? So what are the things we need to really focus on when we say personal growth? What are we talking about? So let's quickly look at this. So personal development growth consists of activities that develop a person's capabilities and potential. So when you say capabilities and potential, it is also your physical capability, right? You should be able to, be physically fit as well. Build human capital, facilitate employability, and enhance quality of life and the realization of dreams and aspirations of the individual. Personal development may take place over the course of an individual's entire lifespan. It is not that it happens, the growth happens at one point in time and then after that it is done. No, it's a continuous process, as I think both Pramod and Deepthi were saying. So this is what Mahatma Gandhi said: your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. So it all starts from your belief. So what is the belief you are already having? Is it being useful? Is it being empowering or disempowering? So you need to evaluate. These are the things when you are getting into this kind of inquiry based approach, or you are joining UMM, or you want to do personal growth. It is important that you review your beliefs. Is it the right one? Is it empowering you or disempowering you? Is it helping you or not helping you? Is it limiting you or allowing you to prosper? So beliefs is very, very, very important. So based on the belief, your thought process comes in. So based on your thought, your words come in. Based on your words, the action come in. Based on your actions, your habits get formed. Based on your habits, the values get formed, and based on your values, your destiny is determined. So it's important to understand this cycle. Any questions on this?
Just want to know, when we say your beliefs becomes your thoughts, or it is your other way around, the thoughts, the kind of continuous thoughts which comes in and you understand and you give a specific meaning to it, and then becomes a belief, or you know, there's no set belief, or this is my understanding. Just want to.
Yeah. So yeah, that's also true, that if you're repeatedly your thoughts are in a particular way, that also becomes a belief. But typically the beliefs are formed much earlier before even you consciously do many things. So your beliefs are formed based on your childhood environment, childhood brought up, and your own experiences and many other things.
Yeah.
So what happens is, whatever the thought comes, your belief shapes it, right? Whether it is going to be empowering thought or disempowering. You see, one may believe that, oh, the world is dangerous, people are always not good. That is a belief. If you have that belief, and if you get a good thought also, if a belief is not empowering, it is going to limit you. So that's the power of belief. So you have to examine. See, thought relatively easier to change, but beliefs are not easy to change. That requires really little bit hard work, introspection, discussions, forums, and all those things. Yeah, any other questions? Okay, so assuming that you know this, so these are the things we are talking about in the personal growth: your physical quotient, your intellectual quotient, emotional quotient, and spiritual quotient. Before spiritual, we can also have SQ as social quotient as well. So physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual. So these are the various aspects of growth we need to be consciously looking at, right? So can somebody talk about how do we take care of the growth in each of these areas: physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual? Right? So we need to be having high score in each one of those aspects. So how do we go about growing in these aspects, our personal growth in each aspect of physical, intellectual, emotional, social, and spiritual? So personal growth means it is a growth in each one of them, all of them. So where are you? So you can talk about yourself. So where are you with respect to the personal growth in each aspect? Are you consciously growing in your physical aspects, intellectual aspects, emotional aspects, social aspects, and the spiritual aspects? So you can talk one or more or all.
Yeah, I believe it's a continuous process, which we are not aware that we are actually working on the spiritual quotient or intellectual. It happens automatically.
Exactly.
And,
But the point is that is what my original question was, that it is anyway happening. Why are you talking about personal growth? The reason why we are talking is we want to make it very focused and conscious, and we want that to be empowering and helping us. That's why we are focusing. Yeah, go on, Pramod.
yeah, and I need little bit more clarity when we say, or people, or this is my understanding. People say you should now focus much on your spiritual quotient. Uh, I don't know, like, is it because you will be much more focused, or you get more clarity when you are in that state of mind, or because people are aware of their IQ or EQ? Why, or has a even in this leadership channel and all, they focus, you should focus much on the spiritual question. How it will help us? I'm not, I'm not getting that thought point on it.
Okay, so anybody wants to answer that question? What Pramod asked?
Sir, Rama sir,
Yeah.
do you repeat the question same one more time?
Okay, so what Pramod is asking is that while we know that all these aspects are important for our personal growth, why people keep talking about spiritual growth more? What is the greatness about it? How is it helping? Why people talk about spiritual growth more?
Spiritual growth is, more of humanity and human values, where spiritually how you get a hold on your own senses. It is like, first you need to have a control over your own senses, right? So that's what spirituality teaches you, how to have a hold on your life, on your emotions, on your thoughts, how to balance it. And that's why the spirituality growth is very important, because any situation, how you react, it is all concerned with your spirituality. That's why when you pray, when you do meditation, you get more calmness, you get more cool, you are able to manage your thoughts, you are able to manage your behavior, your thought process. And once you are able to manage your thoughts and behavior, automatically the reactions gets managed. And when you are able to do, you are more focused on what you want out of life.
Yeah, thank you, Nidhi. So, Pramod, do you remember this Maslow's hierarchy of needs?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
yeah. So, what is it, and how is it structured, and why is it structured like this?
I think, yeah,
Your
that is,
basic need is your
yeah.
physiological need: food, water, warmth, and rest, right? And then your safety needs: security and safety. Then your belongingness and love needs: intimate relationships and friends. And then comes the esteem needs of prestige, feeling of accomplishment. And then comes the self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. So basic needs, psychological needs, and self-fulfillment needs. So you can say physical needs, uh, mental and emotional needs, and social and spiritual needs, right? That is how the hierarchy is. So why is this hierarchy like this?
Because if you're not having the means your basic need, that is your baseline, that is your base, unless you are happy at that level, that
Correct.
you cannot attain your to the
Correct.
pinnacle of it.
Correct. So you have to take care of the basic needs of your physical and emotional and mental before even you move to the social and spiritual needs. So that means it is in a different hierarchy. You're able to see that, right? It goes from the basic to the higher hierarchy. So hence, obviously, people will talk about spiritual growth as the biggest growth possible, because unless you take care of the other growth, it is not even possible to talk about the spiritual growth as such. So that is one. The other aspect is, if you look at it, the basic physical is more solid, more dense, and the mental and emotional are little bit more very higher level of the energy. Energy is much more bigger in terms mature. No, it is not very dense. So social and spiritual will be much more finer energies, right? So that is why the effect of that energy is much more than the physical energy or the lower energies. So hence, a little change there in the spiritual realm can change many things in the realms below, right? So the power and the effect of the growth and energies at the higher levels are much more. Are you able to get that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Right, so the question I asked is, can you talk about your various personal growth aspects? What is your current status? How are you working on your personal growth in various realms we are talking about, or whatever the way you are going, you talk about it, then we can relate to those aspects what we talk, what I showed. See, in terms of the knowledge, there is a lot of knowledge. What is important is to really focus on that and get the clarity and attention, and then actionize on that. That is most important. Whatever we know much more than what is required. What is important is to get into that, get deep into that, and start actionizing on that. And of course, we can also relate to sometimes we know, but we don't know really what it means and how to relate it. So we can bring that clarity also now. So what's your personal growth? Can you talk about your personal growth? That's my question. What's your current state of your personal growth? And in what are the ways you are growing, and what are the ways you are focusing?
If I see my growth in the spiritual quotient, it has been over past 1 year. I'd been looking into more of spirituality to manage myself, and there's more awareness about things happening around me and within me. And when I'm like I do meditation, yoga, and all that really helps me balance myself, and that helps me be more emotionally balanced. That helps me manage myself and my relation, because if I am balanced, then my relationship also is taken care, because I'm able to be the best in my relationships. Then I think if your emotion is really good, then your physical aspects also, like even health, everything is balanced over there. So I think with that spiritual knowledge, I'm able to manage my emotion and my physical health. In that, if I say physical health, yeah, that is where I see my growth from spirituality. If it's taken care, goes down the level.
Right. So when you are looking at only from physical or mental or emotional, it is very limited. Whereas when you are going social and spiritual, the perspective is much broader. The clarity is much better. So that is why you are able to look at the other aspects also in a much better way and manage that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for the update, Deepti. Yeah. Anybody else would like to talk about your personal growth? Whatever it is, it need not be all of them. Some of you may want to focus only on specific thing to start with, or at this point in time. So it can, over a period, it can change. The priority and focus can change at a various point in time.
Yeah. For me, I think, or I lack in the EQ part, like what is the situation, what the other person is going through. I have my perspective. I think, okay, this might be the case, but I'm not able to actually feel what the other person is going through. That is, I think, what I think I am lacking. I need to develop. I think one that is more about asking or understanding these people better, or yeah.
Yeah. So it is not only understanding others' emotions, even our own emotions, whether we are able to understand. So are you able to really, understand what emotions are you going through? Are you able to allow the system to process it? Are you able to know? Otherwise, what happens is if you don't allow the emotions to go through, if you suppress it, it keeps coming back and haunting you. It will not allow you to really, be comfortable in whatever you are doing. So it is not only understanding others' emotions, understanding your own emotions and processing that. That's very important. So how would you go about developing that?
Yeah, that's $1 million question.
But why would you want to develop it?
Or my understanding is when you have a better relationship, you can have a better communication. You can delegate things in a much better way. Then,
Yes. Yes, when you have better emotional intelligence, you can interact with people better, and you can make sure that people are really empowering you, and you can also empower them. Otherwise, sometimes people can be absolutely disempowering.
yes.
They will not allow you to do what you want to do.
Mm.
Right? If your relationship is not good, if your emotional connection is not good, people can really put you down. So hence it is important that the relationships are maintained properly. And for that, you also have to process your emotions, and you have to be clear. Otherwise, if you don't know what are your emotions, how to process yours, you will not be able to understand others' emotions as well. And if you don't understand their emotions, you will not be able to manage the relationship properly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So for that, the first thing is to observe your own emotions. What happens whenever the emotions come? Allow time to observe and let the system process it. What we do typically is whenever emotion comes, we just suppress it and we want to move on to the next. So the first step is to allow the emotions to come, emerge, and let it go through the process within yourself. Only then you will be able to understand others' emotions. So typically the people who are intellectual, it's very difficult for us to really process the emotions, understand the emotions and process them. Okay, so there is emotional intelligence. That is prominent. You all might have heard many times. So there is one book by Daniel Goleman, very classical book on emotional intelligence. You can look at that. So, okay. So anything else you want to say, Pramod?
Yeah, nothing.
Okay. Anybody else would like to share your personal growth story or personal growth status or expectations or anything you want to know about what you can do?
Can I?
Yes, Chabir.
It is some difficult. I am driving now in high range area, so my interruption is there. So sorry for that.
No, when you are driving,
I
Shabir, when you are driving,
Yeah,
focus
please.
on that. Focus on that.
Yeah,
No?
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
We
course,
can.
I can.
Yeah. Can you talk along with the driving?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, go on.
Today it's a very slow driving. That's why, and very lonely, hilly areas. No issue. They smoothly
Okay.
drive. Right?
Okay.
That I had one experience today. That's the thing I have to share with you people.
Yeah.
Actually, this journey I planned early morning. I think 3 o'clock only. I have to start early morning 3 o'clock. Like that, I just planned. But the thing happened is my car is parked somewhere else because there some canal work is going on nearby my house. So I parked opposite side in another house. Actually, I just thought that he may close his gate and when I parking time, I just thought, but I didn't ask him and not ask. Then early morning I came there. 2 o'clock I wake up and get ready, and 3 o'clock I came there and just looked there, but that gate was closed. Then actually, regularly he will wake up early morning 5 o'clock like that. But I call him, but he didn't lift his phone. And wait for up to 5 o'clock. No, he didn't lift his phone. He didn't open that door also, that gate also. Then again wait till 6 o'clock. No, he didn't wake up. Then it will become 7 o'clock. Today he wake up 7 o'clock only.
Hmm. Are you talking?
Oh, hello.
I think the signal problem or something. Shabir? Okay, so till he comes back, anybody else would like to share your personal growth story? Okay, so if you don't have anything specific to say, think about it. We will further go. So promote the emotional intelligence. This is how it works. Daniel Goleman book also will explain this. That there are two things: intrapersonal and interpersonal. Intrapersonal means your own self. Interpersonal is others. So how do you handle your own emotions is self-awareness. So self-awareness is very, very important. You have to really deeply look at yourself. What's happening to you? What are you doing? How are you doing it? Why are you doing it? So that's the self-awareness. Particularly when the emotional stuff comes in, are you aware of your emotions and how the emotions are triggered and what is the impact on that? So with others, when you are observing others' emotions, then that is your social awareness. And then the behavior is your own self, intrapersonal, your own self. Once you observe your emotions, you can manage. So there are tools and techniques to manage your own self. So once you are self-aware, you can manage your behavior, your emotions. That is called self-management. So when you are interacting with other people, when you are aware of their emotions and their interactions, if you are able to observe and understand, then you can do the relationship management. So you can manage the relationship for good, for both, win-win. See, typically relationship should be win-win. If you are doing only win-lose, then you will lose the relationship over a period. In a short term, you may feel good, but in the long term, it is not good. And if you are not aware of the emotions of others, the social awareness, or your own self-awareness, then you will not be able to manage the relationship. You will always lose. So that is also not good. So that is why you have to understand the emotions of others as well. So from the work point of view, based on your self-awareness and self-management, your performance is determined. So how well you perform in anything, whether it is your professional job, whether it is your family aspects, whether your personal aspects, whether it is related to your friendship, your social aspect, social quotient, whatever it is, or your spiritual development, everything depends on your self-awareness and self-management. Here, more specifically on emotions, but it is also related to everything else, whether it is your thought process, whether it is your physical well-being, it is all related as well. Even though this is told in the emotional intelligence aspect, it is applicable across. So once you understand your own emotions and others' emotions, you can manage your own self and the relationship with others. And correspondingly, your performance with respect to the social interaction, your official interaction, or even your family interaction and your own interaction with yourself improves. So this is about the emotional intelligence. So any questions on this emotional intelligence?
just want to, okay, when we talk about the self-awareness,
Yeah,
there's this famous model called as this called as Johari window. It is
yeah,
like we are not aware. There's a huge chunk, it's like a four this quadrant. Which we are
correct,
not aware of our own this
correct,
potential. We only know very small portion of it,
right.
and if we try to explore that model, it looks so very. It looks very simple, but it's a very powerful model.
Yes, absolutely. You're right. So this is the Johari window, what Pramod is talking about. Yeah, here. So here the idea is you should know about yourself and you should allow others also to know yourself. So it is not sufficient for you to know yourself alone. It is important that others also know so that they can freely interact with you. They can also assist you because the whole life process is more social process where you cannot be alone and you cannot prosper, you cannot excel in being alone. So you have to be necessarily interacting with others and people will have to collaborate with you, help you and do a win-win thing. So that is why there is a self and others, right? So in the x-axis, you can see known to self and unknown to self. And the y-axis, you have known to others and unknown to others. So the real open self is that, so you know yourself and others also know about you. So that is the open self, information about you that both you and others know. Blind self is that you don't know about yourself, whereas others know. This is typical the case, this is the typical case. Many aspects, we don't know about ourselves, but others can easily observe that I am like this, right? So this is the blind self. This is also not good because people can manipulate you. If you don't know about yourself, but they know, they can utilize for their advantage, right? So that is not good for you. So information about you that you don't know, but others know. That is the blind self. The hidden self is you know about yourself, but others do not know. So this is also not good because you have to struggle to communicate to others if they don't know. If there is something you know about yourself, but you don't show it to others, they will misunderstand always. They will assume other than what you are. So that will unnecessarily complicate your interaction, your relationship with people. So information about you that you know, but others do not know. That is the hidden self from others. And then there is an unknown self in which neither you know nor others know. This is also not good. You have so much of potential which you don't know and others also don't know, right? If you make yourself really make this open self bigger, so that means what? The all other window will go, only open self will be there fully. So that is the best state one has to be in. Right? So any comments or any questions on this Johari window and emotional intelligence? Yes, Nandajan.
Shall I? Yeah.
Yes.
Actually, I lost some of the part of the initial presentation due to my bad network. So I was that was why I kept silent. Okay, regarding this EQ, okay, Johari window. When we go for self-awareness, it is a tool for self-awareness. I know that, but I am not able to differentiate or one thing. What exactly is this SQ, spiritual consciousness? I'm not able to get it properly. And second one, why it is placed above EQ? Why that hierarchy goes that? Because EQ itself, as you rightly pointed out, it is interpersonal and intrapersonal. One is self-management, the other one is dealing with others. So why something above that? And what is the logic behind that? I am not able to properly
This
understand. Even the
Yeah.
FQ part itself. Why FQ or what? Like that?
Yeah. So this quotient business is something we can keep coming out with various questions. So there is something called leadership quotient also, right? So we can come out with whatever the quotient we want, right? But social, I think the idea of
Okay,
social
while
quotient is
studying or understanding something, such quotient concept is okay. I'm okay with that.
right,
Okay,
right.
sir, continue, please. Sir.
Yeah. So the hierarchy wise, why it should be above emotional quotient is that, see, emotional quotient is for the relationship with others, right? So that's clear. Now, what in social quotient, what we are trying to do is going much beyond your current contacts. So your emotional quotient helps in dealing with your colleagues, your friends, your family, and all those things, the known no circle. But social quotient is trying to scale and go beyond your known circle and see whether you can help the others, particularly the masses, right? So it's not just limited to your own contacts and your own connections. What other capabilities, what other skills are required to move beyond your current circle and reach out to the bigger circle of the people across the world? So that's what my understanding is, and that's why it should be above EQ.
Okay. Maybe I got misled there. That is here the topmost one FQ is social quotient, right?
No, yeah,
It's not
topmost is
spiritual.
spiritual quotient. Topmost is spiritual.
I'm talking about that portion. Why it is on the
Oh,
higher
you're talking about
side
spiritual
and
quotient?
why what
Okay.
exactly it is?
Yeah, sure,
What
sure.
exactly it is?
Yeah. It's easy to understand. Not a problem at all. See, spiritual. What happens is it connects at the highest possible and largest possible aspects. See, physical. It is restricted to only your physical, right? If you look at in terms of the space, time, and the impact, it is related to only your physical, right? That is clear. Physical quotient is very limited. Then comes your IQ, your mental quotient. Mental quotient is not just limited to you, it is much bigger than that, much bigger than this physical body, right? Because based on your thinking, based on your IQ, you can contribute, you can make impact much bigger and better. And then with emotional quotient, you can connect with more people in a much more better and effective way. And then social, you are reaching out not only with your known contacts, the other people also across the world. With spiritual, the connection is much more higher. The energies at that level are much more finer. So if you can touch and if you can develop the spiritual capabilities, your ability to really make the things happen, to reach the people, to convince the people is much higher. So there the concepts are in a much broader level. The energies are at the finer and broader level. So that's why the spiritual quotient is at the top. And also it gives much more satisfaction, much more control to you than the other ones. That doesn't mean that you need not take care of other things. But when you are touching your spiritual quotient, your satisfaction, your performance are much better than what you focus on the other questions. But other questions are also equally important. You cannot just ignore them.
Can I add?
Yes, please.
Spirituality is basically about our life, way of living, or whatever you can define. So when I got into this path, I followed one person and she really inspired me. So this Mahatma Gandhi's quote was one basic thing, like, your belief system forms your thought, word, action, and then your behavior, habits a habit is formed and defines your personality, and that personality determines your destiny. This is a flow, like this is the flow of life, what happens within everyone. So when you know that, you have more awareness of what happens. That's the spirituality part, what I feel comes. And when that is taken care, we are more aware about our emotions, ourselves, and that will help us manage the relationship also. That is where EQ comes. So I feel my spirituality came with that thought process, how my thought process works and how other thought process works, and then how does that form my destiny. Basically the karma flow. So when you know, that is my understanding about spirituality. The way I am living, that will help me determine what I am. I am not this body, I'm beyond this body. So that feeling comes with spiritual quotient, and that helps you manage your physical and people around you. That comes in the EQ. That is what I have understood. I don't know if I'm correct.
Yeah, I think, yeah, more or less. So Nandajan, I also would like to give another analogy, right? Your physical quotient is like your state of water has 3 states, right? It is in the ice state. In the ice form is the physical quotient. The water form is your IQ and EQ, and probably part of SQ. And the gaseous state is the spiritual quotient, really, and part of social quotient. But spiritual is absolutely gaseous. What does that mean? That it can occupy more volume, it can reach out to more, the reach is more, whereas the physical is very limited. Liquid is also a little bit expansive, but gaseous is really expansive. So that is another analogy, very crude analogy.
I have the doubt coming in a different way also. There is especially the physical quotient or IQ or EQ, EQ along with SQ, that is social quotient. These are all connecting to the reality. Or it can be more of science, whereas we move to the spirituality, it is an entirely different thing. That is, the moment you believe that there is something beyond you.
Right.
And if I don't believe that there is nothing beyond, it cannot be proved at all. Whereas all other things are in the scientifically, we can arrive that one. For example, the interpersonal or intrapersonal, these things cannot be measured exactly, but we can rank it in some way or the other one. Whereas if you move to the spirituality, it is just based on some our assumptions only, which the assumption itself says it cannot be proved. Yeah, okay. So this is something I feel many times that these are all not the things which cannot be equated or compared or connected together.
Not
I feel so, because both are of a different thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's what you think, but not necessary. There are, that is very much possible to demonstrate the spiritual aspects and very much scientific as well. What happened is that because of the religions, religions really spoiled the spirituality, right? Because of their own way of demonstrating ritual, this, that, and all. That is one. Second is that just to oppose this religions and one's faith with others, or the different ideologies and philosophies, there used to be a lot of arguments, a lot of discontent, and a lot of disbelief, right? That is passed on to many people. So that is one issue. But if you're asking at the spiritual level, it can be demonstrated scientifically, it is possible. Not all aspects, but many of them. Okay, your doubt is valid, okay? But the answer is that the spiritual is at the top level, and that is much more capable, energetic, more reachability is there, more connection is there. There is no doubt on that. We can talk about it. We will talk about it. We can demonstrate if you want, but we'll talk about it. Your question is very valid, because many a times it is a blind belief, right? Instead of like the way you are asking, people will generally assume that, yeah, spiritual means there must be some God, there must be this, that. So it must be top, but not necessary. But can we understand in a very practical and scientific and way? It is very much possible to understand that way.
Yeah, it can be. It will take long time, and the first discourses will sometimes move away from the main topic. I fear in that way also. Yeah, but I agree that Ramasan sir, that you can have such a conviction about this one. You have every right to have that one. But at the same time, what I'm saying is that the moment you don't subscribe the so-called terms on spiritual, so far defined. If anything is beyond that, that's something different. If you're not subscribing that,
Yeah.
then the hierarchy will not exist at that level. That's again, even if you subscribe it or not, the all other things are okay. For example, the physical or IQ or EQ. EQ and social quotient almost, I think, go together or go hand in hand, of course. That's
so your point, Nandajan.
Debate. Okay, the question of
Right.
debate.
See, your point is, first, yeah, there are 2 points you can make. One is there is nothing like spiritual quotient, right? So just eliminate that. You can do that. I don't have any problem, right? I'm only explaining this. So you can say, why are you putting spiritual quotient at the top? It is not even there. Just eliminate it. It's okay. No issues. See, we are talking about personal growth today. So as long as you are taking care of your personal growth, it's good, right? So you can eliminate spiritual quotient. That is one aspect. The second aspect is, yeah, I understand spiritual growth may be there. Why should it be at the top? It can be somewhere in the middle or at the bottom. So that is the second argument you can make. So both are very valid arguments. We can really discuss about it. So right now, for the convention, for the general understanding, we are keeping it at that level. But you can absolutely ignore that and put it where you want. There is no issue. But if you want to seek the clarity, if you want to really argue, discuss, and come to a conclusion, we can always do. We'll do outside this forum. Obviously, we'll not have time to do that. But I'm happy to do that.
Yeah. I'm also happy to discuss.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, and I don't have any problem if you can convince me to put it in the middle of it or bottom of it. I don't have any problem. And in fact, I can put it at the bottom at sometimes. So I don't have any fixed or very religious view on that. Sometimes I can put the spirituality at the bottom, and then I can keep something else as the top. So there is no issue. It's up to me how I view the whole aspect and the whole world, right?
Yes.
Right.
So
okay. So
can we?
Yeah.
Any more questions, or can we conclude?
Yeah, there are a few more things. Of course, we started late. I know Sudeepa was saying that let's close it at 10. So let me
We have one meeting actually.
Oh, okay. So then officially let's close it. But I just want 5-10 minutes to conclude logically, because we started late also.
Yeah, 5 minutes we can conclude and we can start with the next one.
Okay. Right. So I just wanted to take you through a few more slides. Okay, this are you all aware of this, no? That dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphin. This is important for your personal growth, no doubt on that. So whatever the way you can get these chemicals in your system, please do it, right? So there is something called exercise and inner size. Exercise is external for your physical body. Inner size is for your internal, mental, and emotional aspects. So like the way you do the exercise, you also do the inner size. That is the point I want to make here, right? So exercise, various reasons. So inner sizes, like it can be more inquiry-based, meditative, discussion-oriented, whatever it is. So basically inner sizes, what big idea or for example, one way of doing the inner size. See, exercise, you take one particular exercise and do it, right? stretching exercise or yoga exercise, this exercise, that exercise. Like that, you can do inner size. How do you do it? What big idea or desire of yours holds the deepest meaning, purpose, or value to you? So identify a particular idea or aspect which has deeper meaning to you, and then take your most meaningful idea or desire and setting a goal for it. Set a goal for it and write the actions required. And then, why do you want to attain this goal? Why is it you want to bring your idea to fruition? Why do you want to complete this project? So think about it. So this inner size will build your muscle, your inner muscle, to make sure that you are fully committed to this idea what you have and the goal you have, and then you will actionize. Otherwise, somebody has to push you from outside. If you want to do it on your own, you can do this inner size. Okay, so the development, I will not specifically talk about it. Of course, there are so many barriers. We have to be aware of it and see how to handle it. I will just move on. I just want to show you this and one more slide, right? So this is a mindfulness model. So you have the motivational factors at the top, which is motivation, intention, expectations, and attitudes. And then mind training, mindfulness practice with core processes like emotional flexibility, attention, cognitive flexibility. These are the various ways. And then you take your mental stance of non-judging awareness. So don't judge anything and be aware of it. So that should be your mental status. And then the outcomes is based on your physical well-being, mental well-being, and the behavior you demonstrate. So when you're acting with awareness, acting with flexibility, and acting autonomously, of course, you're interdependent, but autonomously means you have your muscle and you start leading. Don't wait for others. So if you do this, there is a mindful way of making anything happen. So that's the idea of this model. So we'll not go into the details, but this is what is the overall aspect. So the last slide I want to leave with you is the vowels of personal growth. So AEIOU, right? Actionize. A is for actionize. Whatever you already know and have, actionize that. You don't need to do anything new. If you learn new and also it's okay. But what you have is more than sufficient. Whatever the knowledge you have, whatever you want to do, actionize that. E is exercise. Exercise for your physical well-being. Exercise care. Exercise every day. I is for inner size. So inner size for all your ideas, your goals. Do meditation. Organize your time, your activities, your things, and utilize your time, your knowledge, your connections. So this is one mantra for your personal growth. So with that, let me close. Thank you very much. So whoever wants to talk more or discuss or debate, please reach out to me. I am available. Spiritual, I and Nandajan will debate.
One day we can sit together and discuss.
Yeah,
I don't say it's a debate. Let's discuss. No arguments.
Of course.
Let us discuss.
I also want to be in the team discussion. Nandajan sir, we for this one.
So we will have another powerful spirituality discussion.
I
where
also want
Rama
to be part
sir,
of the team.
Shamir sir, Nandachan sir, everybody.
Raman is
will
not
be
alone.
there.
I'm with you, Raman sir. You go forward. I'm with you.
No, we are like Nandajan says, it is not the argument, it is the discussion.
Yes, it's a
Yeah, all are
discussion,
welcome.
sharing of viewpoints.
Yeah, so Nandajan, we will announce some time.
Sure.
So whoever
Yes,
wants to join,
exactly.
let them join. We will start the
Let us.
discussion.
Happy.
Perfect. So let's.
And the moment we start arguing, the logic will be lost.
Yes.
It is a discussion and exchanging the ideas.
Yes, exactly.
Instead of winning an argument or nothing like that. Let us discuss, because these are all different school of thought. Why don't we discuss and try to understand what it is?
Right.
So thank you
Let
so
us have
much,
a
Rama
healthy
sir.
discussion, sir. Let us have a healthy discussion so understand better. That's it. Nothing else.
Yes.
Okay, so
I'm
thank you
happy to.
so much, Rama sir, for bringing that spirituality quotient and the basic 4 levels and necessities and enlightening us with so much in depth. So it's always wonderful to have you, and with the spiritual, the aura you carry with yourself. So thank you so much, and it's always wonderful to have you. And from all of us from Brain City, it's a heartful, great, enlightening time with you. So maybe a little short because you joined us late, but we missed you, and still it was very, powerful session from you. So thank you so much, and keep enlightening us, and we'll continue the topic with Nangajan sir, Shamir sir, and with you anytime. Right?
Sure, thank you.
So thank you so much, and good night, everyone. Have a peaceful sleep. Have a wonderful smile, and let's be thankful for the wonderful day and togetherness on this platform on Brain City. So thank you, everyone.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Sleep well.
Nidhi, which room?
Design 1.
Good night. Good night. Nidhi, I have made you host.
We need to stop the Facebook Live. Sudeepa? I think Design 1, Mithun has gone. Okay. Prashanti is there. Let's just ping Pramod that we are going in Design 2.
Hi Nidhi, when are we meeting?